After the initial shock faded, after the anger softened, after the questions stopped looping at 3 a.m., something unexpected happened. I slowed down, not because I wanted to, because life forced me to. And in that slowness, I started noticing things I had ignored for years. How tense my body had been, how much of my worth tied to being needed, how often I pushed past my intuition just to keep things running smoothly. Losing my job didn't just remove structure, it exposed how much of my life was built around not disappointing anyone. When you're employed for a long time, decisions are outsourced. Your schedule, your priorities, your energy. Suddenly all of that was back in my hands, and that was terrifying. There was no manager to tell me if I was doing enough, no performance review to validate my effort, just me and my own voice. At first, I didn't trust it. I kept asking, am I doing the right thing? Should I be further along by now? Am I wasting time? But slowly, day by day, intuition got louder than fear. I learned the difference between anxiety and inner guidance. One rushes, the other waits. Progress used to look like promotions, raises, external proof. Now it looks quieter. Waking up without dread, creating without asking permission, resting without needing to earn it. Some days progress meant finishing a page of writing, other days it meant stopping before burnout returned. I stopped measuring my life in milestones and started measuring it in alignment. Does this feel honest? Does this feel sustainable? Does this feel like me? If the answer was yes, I kept going, even if it didn't make sense on paper. Feeling betrayed changes you. It strips away illusions. It sharpens your boundaries. It teaches you discernment the hard way. But it also shows you something important. People can disappoint you without defining you. I realized I wasn't betrayed because I was naive. I was betrayed because I was open, and I refused to believe openness is a flaw. Now I'm softer, with stronger edges. Being behind was a lie. Here's the truth I didn't want to accept. Feeling behind wasn't about time, it was about comparison. I was measuring my inner transformation against other people's visible outcomes. But you can't compare healing timelines, no. You can't rush integration, no. You can't shortcut becoming yourself, no. Some people build fast, some people build deep. Depth takes time. I don't know. I don't have everything figured out. And honestly, I don't want to. What I have now is trust. Trust in my peace. Trust in my creativity. Trust that rest is part of the work. Losing my job forced me to stop chasing certainty and start building resilience. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind. The quiet kind that stays. If you're watching this and you're still angry, still grieving, still unsure, you're not broken. You're transitioning. And transitions are uncomfortable because they require you to shed identities that no longer fit. Be patient with yourself. You're not late. You're not failing. You're becoming.
Ay, when I see I was, I'll say listen.
Somewhere along the way, I stopped asking, why did this happen to me? And started asking, who am I becoming because of this? That shift changed everything. Not overnight, not dramatically, but steadily. Integration is quiet work. Integration doesn't look impressive. It looks like catching yourself before overcommitting. It looks like saying no without explanation. It looks like resting before you're forced to. It's applying the lessons without announcing them. I don't talk about boundaries the way I used to. I live them. I don't preach balance. I protect it. The job ending wasn't just an event. It was a mirror. And now that I've seen what I needed to see, I can't unsee it. Before, my vision of the future was linear. Work hard, stay loyal, climb steadily, arrive. Now, it's layered. I see a life where creativity isn't a side note, where writing, illustrating, painting, making music aren't escapes from reality, but part of it. I see work that aligns with my values, not just my skills. I see space, time, energy that isn't constantly depleted, not because I'm avoiding effort, but because I understand sustainability now. Success feels different. Success used to feel urgent. Now it feels intentional. It's not about proving I bounce back. No, it's about building something I don't need to recover from. That's the difference. I'm not trying to win anymore. I'm trying to live in a way that feels honest. If growth comes, good. If recognition comes, great. But alignment comes first. Always. I can look back now without tightening my jaw. The chapter hurt. Yeah, that chapter hurt, but it taught. It stripped me of illusions and returned me to myself. And strangely, I'm grateful. Not for the betrayal, not for the uncertainty, but for the clarity. Some endings are removal. Some endings are removals. Some are redirections. This one was both. The vision moving forward. I don't need everything mapped out anymore. I need rhythm. I need intuition. I need room to create and room to rest. I want a future where my work reflects my inner life. My peace isn't negotiable. My creativity pays me, not just financially, but spiritually. And I never abandon myself to stay comfortable. That's the vision. Not flashy, not rushed, but rooted. For anyone watching this, if you're rebuilding, take your time. You're not late, you're layering. You're not behind, you're integrating. You're not starting from zero, you're starting from experience. And that's heavier, but it's wiser.
listen to